Yo, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's been a while, all right? You can say it. I've just been hanging out, prioritizing some other things, and laying low watching Bitcoin just do what Bitcoin does. And this is one of those times where past couple months have not been very interesting, right? It's been a little bit boring, especially for those of us who were in this just to make money. That's where I started to. Look, I get it, all right? It's no longer the goal. It's no longer why I participate, why I hold. It's not about making money for me. But what I wanted to do today is show you guys a little bit of Glassnode data, some statistics, kind of go over what I'm seeing in the market, what it's looking like right now, and what that means moving forward. So let me start by showing you guys a glimpse of what the market is looking like currently right now. So we're at $56,800. Yeah, we're down from the high at $73,000. And people are freaking out. A lot of people are making videos about a $20,000 Bitcoin. This has been a thing for a while, right? Everybody's been looking for that 10, 20, 30,000 Bitcoin again. Look, I'm sorry to say it, unless there's a World War III or something of that nature, such drastic black swan event, I don't think you're gonna be seeing $30,000 Bitcoin again. All right. So where do I see us coming? Well, we went down here and touched $53,000. At minimum, we're gonna come back down and touch that $53,000. To be honest with you, I even think this $50,300 area is a better shot. We might come down here and play for this, as that's the last sort of key support that we have. If that breaks, I'm looking for $46,000 to $40,000. Now, we spent pretty good amount of time in this area in the past. Over here, there was a lot of mix around that we had in that area. I actually find that to be a very big support area. So if we go below $50,000, I think we touch the $45,000, $47,000 range, and we start kind of heading back up. Now, was there a whole lot of time spent between 48 and 56? No, there wasn't a ton of time there, not much consolidation. So I think that's probably what we're trying to aim to do right now. I will get back to these charts here real soon, but the biggest piece right now for us are Glassnode data. Now, I got all these from PlanB. If you don't know who PlanB is, you should definitely check them out on YouTube. And all of this information, by the way, is accessible if you want to pay for it. He makes a video about it. I don't want to pay for it. Tons of people buy the membership for it. So there's no need for me to pay for it. But there's a few things that we can look at, right? Just if we're looking at data. Now, this is the Bitcoin stock to flow model. Lots of people agree with it. Quite a few of them don't agree with it, but it seemed to work true in pretty much every cycle that we've had. And so there's one big distinction that you can see right now, and all these colors are basically months until the next halving. Since our halving was just a few months ago, we're just breaking out of the blue, hopping into the red, which basically means, you know, we've got 45 to 50-ish months, somewhere in that range, left until the next halving. And typically what you see in that section is, and I'm going to say this, the trend is your friend until the end. We have not had a reason for this trend not to work. Until I get that reason, this trend to me stays true. And that's with all of the following data and information that we're going to end up seeing in this video. So typically, this is in 2013. What you see is you got a massive pump afterwards. Traditionally, in 2016 and 2017, what you saw is you did come down. It's same thing with this, right? The blue into the transition of the red, it came down a little bit, shot up. It came down. There's a couple red dots down here before it shot up. From blue to the red, it came down and then shot up. So what you would think is that right now we're going through that period where halving just happened. We're going to take a small little dump, probably consolidate for a little bit, and inevitably we usually shoot up, and this is calling for over $100,000 Bitcoin price. I still think that's in the playing cards, especially even this year with the remaining 6 months of 2024, I would imagine 100% that we hit $100,000. I really don't see a top until maybe this time in 2025. We probably start getting overheated. All right, so that's one. Stock to flow model. All right, Bitcoin market cycle. Now, you'll see here, red typically means that we're in a bull market. And we just got out of an accumulation phase. So, same thing here, blue to red. We've had maybe 4 or 5 red dots. Typically, you see that there's quite a few of red dots before we hit the distribution, before we hit that yellow mark. We have not seen many red dots yet. So in this cycle, boom, lots of red dots. In this cycle, boom, lots of red dots. In the previous cycle, boom, lots of red dots. We haven't gotten there yet, right? It's the very start of a bull market. We have a lot of room for growth. Let's go to the next one. Bitcoin Relative Strength Index, RSI. Simply what the RSI does, it tells you when something is overbought or oversold. In this case, right now, just looking based off of the colors, and this is going to do the same thing months until the next halving, you can see that there is one strong thing going on here from 2011 till now. The peaks of these continue to get lower and lower. Now, what I will say is that unless we get above 85 in that 85 to 90 range, we're not overbought. This is not a crazy bull market yet. And what you'll also see is, again, from the transition from blue to red, this one didn't happen, but there was a downturn in the blue here. This one, blue, boom, red, went down. This one, blue, red, went down. So we're just in another one of these phases so far. What I'm seeing is, a small little drop, maybe to that 60 level, and we pop back up to 80 to 85, maybe even get closer to that 90. And until that happens, we're still in a bull market. Let's look at the next one. Bitcoin 200 week moving average. So that thick black line is a 200 weekly moving average. Typically what you'll see is during a bear market, we go down and we touch that. And same thing with the months until halving. This was 2018, December of 2018. We touched that 200. This was COVID. We touched that 200. We got down below it again from that 2021-2022 level. We sat down there for a while, which was actually the longest consolidation period around that 200 WMA, similar to 2015 going into 2016. And actually, that was one of the craziest bull runs that I had witnessed, was this 2017 bull run from 2016 to 2017. And look at how long of accumulation we sat at that 200 for, right? Arguably, it was a lot longer here. We could be in for a crazier bull run, and we haven't seen that overheatedness yet. It barely saw this transition from blue to red. You see there's a downturn there. You see there's a downturn here. All right. Moving on from there, Bitcoin realized price. So typically with this, what we're going to look for is this light blue line get back above the black and the dark blue line. All right, typically when that happens, you stay above it for a pretty long time. When it happened here, it almost had a breakdown. It was almost like a false price action, and it continued straight back up. So what you'll notice is realistically at the end of 2023 is when that light blue line passed above them both. If we start to go beneath that 2-year realized price, we would see an issue. That is probably, 35,000 or so. It's hard to kind of tell on here. But what you notice is we haven't been in this bull run for a long time. There's a lot of consolidation there, again, when we were at that bear market low. So just looking at this Bitcoin realized price, we have a lot of upside to go. We haven't even seen that parabolic breakout yet, right? And for those of you who have just recently moved in from stocks, maybe what you've witnessed over the last probably 6 to 10 months has been parabolic for you, because stocks don't do what Bitcoin or crypto does. Let's look at the next one. Bitcoin realized return. So where are we at? We saw a little bit of red, okay. Most of these bull markets saw a ton of red. It wasn't like one or two came in. Typically what you see is after a decent amount of greenish yellow, you get a lot of those reds. And we barely had a couple left. We're not even as hot as you could possibly be. I would imagine we continue to see an uproar. So there's a common theme here, right? But look, again, this is full data. This is what I'm looking at. There's tons of other things that you can look at. But for me, I run off of data. And again, the trend is your friend until the end. So this is the last one we'll look at, Bitcoin in profit. Now, there's a lot of people who were in profit from the $60,000 to $73,000 range. A lot of those people probably waited from 2021 when we were at that all-time high, and they were underwater for a lot of years. So a lot of those people, I'm going to imagine, probably took profit while we got back to these all-time level highs. Probably going to take some profit, right? I guess normal people would probably take some profit. What you could see, again, with the red here being 100% in profit, we're working with a lot of maybe 85-ish% in profit, which is a pretty big deal. But until you get that $100% in profit, which usually lasts for a long time, and you see a parabolic rise, we haven't seen either of those two things happen yet. And here's the next part. As I mentioned, there's a lot of people who probably in the $65,000 to $69,000 range took some profit. There's a lot of people who have not taken profit. Most people who hold Bitcoin in a cold storage wallet, you can see, have not sold their coins. They have not sent them back to exchanges. And actually, a lot of the coins getting bought up on exchanges are going straight to a cold storage, which is a good sign. Let's just say most people typically want to double to make their profit. They'll usually sell when they make double. If people did that at 60 grand, most of these people won't want to take profit until the price doubles, $120,000, right? And so realistically, until we get above 108,000, I really don't see a majority of people who have been hanging around in this space since 2020 or after taking much profit. So after looking at that data, here's the last thing that I really do want to show you guys. And we're going to go back pretty far just to look at these charts that I have. And I'm not going to touch it in the wrong spot because you'll start seeing all my lines pop up. All right, so this is 2015, getting into 2016 now. There was a big bear market and then a lot of consolidation here in this early 2015 stage. When you start getting into 2016, what you'll notice is that bull market started, all right? Now, there's a lot of these downward trends, like bearish kind of areas in the bull market. You can see one from $780 all the way down to $550. And this was over from June until September, a few months. All right, then you had another one, 1,100 to 700. You had another one, 1,300 to 800. This one was pretty nasty too. This was a 3 grand to 1,800. And right, what you're seeing is a lot of these 30%, 35% pullbacks that look nasty, where they have lower lows, lower low, lower low, lower low. And then it rises back up. All right, so that was through 2016, 2017. All right, bottom of the bear market. Let's see, we saw another one here. We saw a big one here, and then COVID happened. I would call this a black swan event. After that, you had this bull run from the bottom of COVID all the way to the top of this to get to that $12,000 level. And then lower low. Not so much here. This is a bigger one. Lower low, lower low, lower low, lower low. Continued to go. So we went from 41,000 down to 29,000. $20,000 difference before we went back up to create 3 new all-time highs. So what do I think is going on? I think that we're seeing another one of those, 1, consolidation periods, Two, it's a lower low, a lower low, a lower low, a lower low, until we hit another sign of resistance and then start pushing the price higher. The fact that RSI and volume are low is a really good sign. And looking at the rest of that data is a really good sign. Guys, right now with what I have, with what I'm looking at, we are still in a bull run. And this has just happened every single cycle in congruence with bull runs and parallel with halvings. This is a minor capitulation. There's a lot of different things that are going on right now. Right, I was talking to a friend today about the difference right now from any other previous cycle is we have the ETFs, we have big money involved, we have the smart money involved. And now they're at the point where they can actually start marketing this to their clients. They've had enough time. I think they had to wait for 4 to 6 months. Which actually is in month 7. This is a good sign for them to continue to market this, promote this to their clients. And look, they didn't get in at the best prices that they possibly could have. This is a great time to start accumulating if you had not been able to. If you waited for years, maybe you're just getting started with Bitcoin. This is great for long-time coiners like us. We love it when the price goes down because it means you can accumulate more. So look, I'm just a dude on the internet, right? I'm not here for financial advice. But if I were to give financial advice, what I would tell you is I would buy the fucking dip. Start buying as much Bitcoin as you possibly can. Because if what usually happens, Bitcoin's about to rip some freaking faces off. So, yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Not really sure what the future looks like for Bitcoins coming up here in the future. Said that twice, but gotta go. Catch you guys later. Peace out.